really pretty simple when you look at the cattle deal. You got to get them on the ground, you got to keep them healthy, and you got to get them big. We retain ownership all the way through. We are unique that we get to see every stage of that. I'm Ty Cleavinger with Hack Creek Land and Cattle with my brother Cody and I. My initial thought was you try it first, and he did. He said, I'm not going to buy any more until I get the breed back. When he did, that's when both of us decided we're gonna give it a shot. That's hard country over there, and we figured if those cows would breed up and perform in that area, what they would do here in the Texas Panhandle. The first year we used it was a set of older cows that we had, but when we pregged those cows, they actually bred better the year after than they did the year before. I want to say it was about a 4% increase, and they were a year older in probably a worse body condition. When that cow's paid for and she's done her duty and gives you one more calf, it's an additional $2,000. We felt like it had earned the right to go ranch wide. We're seeing a tighter window on our calves, and the health on them just seems to be better. We looked at some cows this morning, and their body condition was probably the same as they would be maybe on cake, but they had licks and they just looked healthier, and their calves are healthier than they would have been 2 years ago. The biggest thing is consistency. That's something that's very simple to go out and put out of your tub and mark that down and know when you put that tub out. With cake, sometimes, whether it's weather or just timing, you can't get there when you need to get there, and it's a consistent product. We can feed it in the Texas Panhandle, we can feed it in East Texas and Eastern New Mexico, and it's the same product every time. Actually, we don't even feed cake anymore. We switched to a different program where we saw some of our partners in Eastern New Mexico that were feeding alfalfa and Riomax, and I just saw the results back on their calves from the year before, and I was extremely impressed with the way their calves looked, and they were heavier. They probably were 50 pounds heavier than they were the year prior. Of course, they probably had a little better year, but we didn't have near the health issues with those cattle. And man, they just hit the ground, they just kept going. They're probably the first company that has ever stood behind their guarantee as far as I'm concerned. And if there is overconsumption through the period that, they did reimburse us. You're just not just buying the product. It's the team that comes with it. And that's really what I've been more impressed with. We can argue what the best feeding program, I can't argue what the team at Riomax has done and how they have backed their product up. That cannot be argued. Our program is a natural. There's no fine print in that, so it's important for our cattle to stay as natural as we can get them. That's why we chose Riomax and a consistent source that we can put out in all the different areas that we operate in, from weaning to wheat pasture to grass in the summertime, and then back to the yard. And then we get to see all the data in between there through the genetics, and I think through the Riomax is our cost of gains have gone down. Our DQs are lowering. The conversions seem to be better. That's what we're seeing through the Riomax so far. I want to do business with like-minded people, and I just feel like the team in Riomax is really, they back it up. That's what I've seen so far. They stand behind their product, and they'll go to any limits to make sure that you're satisfied. To be honest with you, it's still hard to write that check, but I've already seen the results because they're running around next to the cows.